It's the Panzer Dragoon soundtrack.
It was a what?
It's the Pan.
Robbie, I can't hear you.
Hold on.
What do you, Robbie?
I can't see.
You can tell, Robbie.
It's the Panzer Dragoon soundtrack.
I think okay. I think you're trying to say it's the Panzer Dragoon soundtrack, right? Okay.
It's the Panzer Dragoon soundtrack.
Got it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's one of the best game soundtracks. I think many people would say one of the best soundtracks of the mid 1990s.
I thought it ripped. Is that a? I loved it, and I loved being in the car with my friend Robby.
What did you like about it?
I liked the synth sound that was like. Why'd you turn it off? I thought it was.
Let me see if I can turn it back on again.
You're not. No, I'm gonna do it.
Just drive.
I'll turn it back. I don't know. This car is weird.
It's a CD player.
Yeah, I know, but
it's not an MP4. It's a. See if you can take it out and put it back in.
Okay.
And you'll notice, Alan, that it is not a CD, but it is in fact the Panzer Dragoon game disc.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's probably the problem.
No. See, back in the mid-1990s, a number of games, you could just pop the game disc into the CD player and have access to the full soundtrack.
Is that right?
Yes.
So I'm just finding out now that you can put in a game disc into a music player and it will play just the music from the game?
Number of Sega Saturn games, number of PlayStation games, Sega CD. I bet I never tested it with 3DO games, but I would imagine that a few of those 3DO games probably have the same feature where you can pop it into the CD player, enjoy the music from the game, but not have to worry about playing the game, not have to worry about the stress of playing a game when you just want to listen to the music. I mean, they sell game soundtracks.
Robby, I like being in the car with you so much because you have always shared with me such interesting facts that only a Robby type character could know, and it's illuminating, and I'm just happy to spend time with my best friend. Where are we going and why?
We're going to Las Vegas.
Why? This just in. Well, I'm going to Las Vegas with my best friend Robby. He's the coolest guy in the world. He's my own personal hero. I look up to him in more ways. He's more than a brother, and we're going to Las Vegas. But why is the question that is.
So they go to the later Panzer Dragoon games is that Panzer Dragoon Y and Panzer Dragoon Saga is that they did not have Saga. S-A-G-A. Saga.
Okay. Saga.
But they
Sega,
didn't have the same
Saga.
feature. You couldn't pop those game discs into a CD player and have them play the game soundtrack. But the fact of the matter is, Alan, is that you, as a person who appreciates game music, would have to acknowledge that the later Panzer Dragoon games, and I do include Panzer Dragoon Orta in this estimation, did not have the same high degree of originality and I would say the epic scale of the music that the first Panzer Dragoon game had.
I would have to agree with you on that one, Robby.
And you have to wonder if the people who made Panzer Dragoon, the soundtrack for Panzer Dragoon, if they knew that the music was so damn good, and that the Saturn was perhaps set up for sort of some trouble, like it was, that they wanted to make sure that people could get the music no matter what.
I'm just happy to be in the car.
Record it to a tape off your CD player. You got a tape player in your CD player. You can record it to a tape. Share it with your friends.
Absolutely.
Why not? Maybe your friends own a PlayStation. And you can borrow their PlayStation for the weekend.
That would be cool. Why are we going to Las Vegas?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Alan, because I have had a bit of a crisis lately. I feel like, we kind of got off track. And I think that the last few times that we were together, that we were trying to make some things happen, that maybe we didn't have the right, maybe we weren't meant to do it. I want to get back to what makes this show the show that we started to make. You understand?
Yeah, we're going to Las Vegas to fill some sort of void within my friend.
In Las Vegas, and it's not like one of these big corporate mega game conventions. It's not your E3 or Tokyo Game Show. It's not even Game Developers Conference. It's a little game expo called LVL, they pronounce it level, LVL level up in Las Vegas. The LV, I'm guessing, stands for Las Vegas, and the L could stand for landing or letter, or what are some lizards? There's a lot of lizards in Las Vegas.
So LVL is an abbreviation for level, and this is the Level Up contest.
And that's where we're going. We're going to Level Up Expo, the game convention in Las Vegas, Nevada.
In Las Vegas, Nevada. And what are the laws in Nevada? What kind of what kind of fun am I going to get into with my buddy?
Well, we're going to go to Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to have a great old time. We're going to see a game convention. We're going to see it's a real game convention, Alan. It's not like these industry things. I keep telling you, it's not like these industry things. It's an enthusiasts convention. So we're gonna be seeing people who are the real gamers of America, and that's what we're looking for. We're trying to find those real gamers of this country, of this great big world, this great big beautiful world that we're all part of.
Alan and Robby are out on an adventure, going to hit the strip
You know,
of the town, and the lights are going to be bright, and the fortune will be in our favor.
We're not going to necessarily see the big reveal of some sort of Final Fantasy VII remake or even
not about that.
No,
it's
not
just about
that.
getting
It's about
messed up,
the people,
getting free drinks, and
meeting the little people that make games like Revenge of the Bird King.
We're gonna have we're gonna gamble, and I can't wait to just spend time with my friend. Rob.
You played Revenge of the Bird King, Alan?
Oh, did I play Revenge of the
Bird King, the 2D action platformer on the Switch eShop?
It's
Switch eShop game. It's an action platformer with some light RPG elements. I would say a lot of people compare it to Zelda 2: Link's Adventure.
This is
sort of a mix between Zelda 2: Link's Adventure and Mega Man. Or maybe not a Mega Man, maybe more like a Contra, or no, not Ninja Gaiden. It's just it's one of those games that just kind of somehow goes under the radar and sticks to the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what I'm hearing.
Sort of flying under the radar, but still hitting the wall, sticking to the wall, and you just kind of keep an eye on it. And you say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to play. I'm going to spend some time with that."
Revenge of the Bird King.
Revenge of the Bird King
sounds
out now
so fun.
On the Nintendo Switch, and I think on PlayStation Network and probably a couple of other platforms. But I think most people would agree who have played Revenge of the Bird King, who know Revenge of the Bird King, will agree that it probably feels best. It probably feels best to play Revenge of the Bird King on a Nintendo Switch, in portable mode or docked mode, and the problem that I have is that, it doesn't have the star power, and that's what Level Up to me is a convention that's got it kind of flies under the radar, sticks to the wall, and it doesn't have that star power that makes the wall kind of fall back or fall down. The wall stayed up, Alan, and that's why we're going to Las Vegas.
I love being with you and the interesting things that you say. Is the Revenge of the Bird King going to be at?
No, it's already out. It's already out, Alan, and it's from what I can tell, it's not selling well. It's not, and
it's too bad. I'm gonna get a copy. Maybe it'll sell better if I get.
If you got a copy, that would be one thing. I want more people to get a copy, and I do think that the game publisher, M7 Games, who unfortunately, because of the coronavirus outbreak in China, will not be able to make it to the Level Up Expo. So our hearts go out to the people at M7 Games, the publishers, some developers of Revenge of the Bird King.
Tesla.
And I want to do my part. So I've made what I think is a pretty significant, edgy kind of look at Revenge of the Bird King as a promotional. They didn't ask me to do this, Alan. I did it because I see in Revenge of the Bird King the soul and the spirit that brought me to video games in the beginning.
This is you did something for the coronavirus?
But it's not making the waves that it needs to make. These are the kinds of games that need more attention on them. They need more light on them. They need more people to pick up their eyeballs off of the countertops or wherever their eyeballs have fallen these days and just take a damn look. It's not an edgy game, Alan. It's not a groundbreaking game. It's a simple game.
What are we talking?
But I think that if I can bring some of the edge to it, then maybe some people will pay attention to it.
Okay.
So I made a trailer for it. And I'd like you to take a look at it and tell me what you think.
Okay.
What'd you think?
I
I made that. They did not ask me to do it. I did it because I care about those types of games. I care about that game.
Why?
I care about it.
You made that for them because they were having they got sick.
No, they were fine. I mean, it could be. Revenge of the Bird King came out well before the coronavirus became an issue.
Right. Okay. Because that's an old game.
Crisis.
That was a game from like when you were a kid.
No, it was a game from 2018.
But it looked bad, like an
no,
old game.
That's called.
So why did you work on?
It's called. It's a retro styled action adventure game in the style of. The games we grew up with, like Mega Man and Link's
they did it,
Awakening and Dinosaurs for Hire.
This is like when they make a TV show on an old camera because they think they're going to trick somebody.
No, it's because they want to make sure that people understand that the game is not going to have these kind of whiz-ding mechanics that kind of drive people up the wall. I mean, what the hell?
It's a remake of an old game, and you made a trailer for it, and and you showed it to me in the car.
Yes.
And I saw, but I don't know how I saw it.
Yes, I also made some fan art. This is President Eagle, the star of Revenge of the Bird King.
You drew this?
I drew this because I want to start a movement, Alan. I want to all these people that are making Final Fantasy fan art, Mega Man fan art, Link's Awakening fan art, and I want to get in there. I just got to be in there, Alan. And you can't just
what?
You have to start somewhere. So I'm starting with President Eagle,
and how did you
the star of Revenge of the Bird King.
But I can see it. But you drew that.
I drew that from memory.
And what is with the
He's a bird. He's the Bird King. Oh, he's not the Bird King. His dad was the Bird King.
And what's the bottom of it is weird.
That's it's sort of an abstract, sort of like a it's like a feeling.
Robbie, I think every little thing you do, every kind of arts and crafts thing that you do is interesting. But this one I gotta admit, it is putting me off in a very big way.
There's nothing to be put off to it. It's the hero of the game, Alan. It's the bird with the sword. Okay. He throws seeds that plant trees that grow guns. You used it. It's one of those.
It looks like the monster from the game you made up.
No.
Is it?
No.
Is that why you like this game?
No, I don't. That's not it. Irrelevant. Revenge of the Bird King is its own thing, and that's why it is so special to me. And that is why this whole thing got kicked off, because after everything that happened, I decided, I'm sick of trying all these crazy games. Sick of trying to make some crazy game. I want to do something. I want to remind myself of what this felt like.
Robbie, what happened to you with the game you made up was not your fault, and I just think we can still make the game you made up.
Hey, we got some somebody called us on the car phone here. Pick up?
Who is it?
Let's pick up. Hi, you're in the car with Robbie and Alan. We're on our way to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hi,
and we are talking about Revenge of the Bird King.
Oh, I've been hearing you talking about it, and honestly, I'm like all down for that retro style. He
loves the retro style. So tell me, you must be one of these people that look for these types of games, that kind of seek them out. That maybe you're a Shovel Knight fan, maybe you're a Mega Man fan.
Who is this?
So what do you think about this Revenge of the Bird King business? I mean, they're not putting the game out enough. I mean, it's out. They put it on sale all the time, but you never hear about it. No one's ever talking about it.
Who the hell is this?
My name is Baldy, and I just want to say that I agree with Robbie. I've never heard about this game before until Robbie mentioned it, and it seems awesome.
It's Revenge of the Bird King.
Cool. Robbie, can we? I'm actually on a road trip with my best friend, and I would thank you for calling the car.
Baldy,
can we hang up?
Why don't you tell me what kind of retro style action platformers you've been playing these days?
Oh man, I don't know. What's that one game with that platforming girl that's all pixelated?
Platforming girl that's all pixelated. Sounds like Celeste.
It's a good soundtrack. Yes, that one. That one.
Although
I've heard. Yeah.
I wouldn't say. I always. Celeste to me it's obviously a platformer game, but does it fall into that subgenre of platformer games, of action platformer games? Because it's just the jumping. That's
Robby.
the sliding. Hold on.
I want to
It's
get.
the jumping and the sliding on the walls and the kind of jumping over spikes kind of
Can
game.
we get gas?
No, we got no. This is a.
I wanna pull over and get gas.
It uses a different type of fuel.
Okay. Well,
Baldy,
I do.
So you're liking Celeste, and you know you're enjoying those the difficulty spike that happens early on that kind of keeps you playing because you know you're unraveling this kind of crazy story. And Revenge of the Bird King doesn't have a crazy story. I mean, it has a story that's it's trying to be funny.
I want to bond with you on a road.
Yeah.
But it's not that funny. It's it's trying to be kind of Shovel Knight kind of rip off, kind of like these are funny characters.
I want to
you
talk
remember this?
about.
That's not really what the
it's
game.
not like
I want to talk about this. Just you and I. We can talk about Bird King.
Well, I just want to say to Robby, honestly, that I understand where he's coming from. Where it's
Me
like
too.
you're not really invested in the story as much as you're invested in the actual retro game.
That-
right?
Exactly.
That's
You're trying to
exactly
get
what I
better.
said.
You're trying to get better at the game.
Robby, but that's exactly
The
what I
game's
said.
not holding your hand. It's
the
not telling you, oh, this is the Bird King, and you got to follow this sort of beacon here on your radar here.
Totally.
You're going to see the Bird King. You're the Bird King. You do what you are set out to do.
Totally.
You decide.
You decide.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the story's like a complement to the gameplay, but it's not integral to it, right?
Exactly.
Exactly what I said earlier when we were talking about.
It's the icing on the king.
Robby, I think we there's exits that you. Let's not talk on the
straight. It's a straight shot.
Alan, we're having a
night.
productive discussion here. Jesus Christ.
Okay, bye.
All right, well,
Bye.
thank you for your call, Baldy.
Thank you for your
Thank you for
call.
talking about Celeste. Thank you for bringing us some great insights into the retro platforming genre. And let's see if someone else is on the
Robby.
car phone.
Robby, I don't appreciate you taking calls when we're on our friendship road trip work.
Hi, you're
work
in the
trip.
car with Alan and Robby. We're driving to Las Vegas.
The Level Up convention with my
what
friend
I want
Robby.
to know is, I got to say Nevada, but I can't. I say Las
Nevada.
instead of
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas or Las
Vegas.
Vegas? Which one? Las Vegas?
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
No, we're in the car here. We're talking about action platformers or just retro style platformers. We're really thinking about the retro kind of aesthetic, I think. I mean, we talked about Celeste a little bit. Obviously, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about Revenge of the Bird King. So I just, caller, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what kind of retro style games you've been playing. And what kind of what are you looking for when you pick up one of those titles off of the eShop or your PlayStation Network or Xbox Live?
I mean, I'm big on these kind of games because I was really into like the Sega Genesis growing up. That was my big thing. I
wasn't responding to you. I just had something caught in my throat.
A lot of Sonic.
You love Sonic. You love the Sonic game.
Yeah.
Robby, I love the
so you like
games
Sonic
and
Sonic
Mario
1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles. What's your favorite Sonic thing there, caller?
I mean, any Sonic game where you can't also play as Knuckles is technically a disappointment to me because Knuckles is just the superior character in all aspects.
Well, also,
But,
it reminds us that, Sonic isn't just some sort of speed through, it's not some racing time trials kind of game. You want to enjoy the platforming of that wonderful classic Sega Genesis series, Sonic the Hedgehog. And what better way to enjoy the platforming than a character that can literally scale walls with his hand.
My favorite Sonic game is Sonic Sonic Boom Fire and Ice from 2016.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one.
And Sonic Runners from 2015 was good.
Caller, do you have a favorite? What's anyone with Knuckles? Is that what I hear?
Yeah, probably. I mean, a lot of the early games kind of blend into one memory for me.
Robby, I'm gonna hang up. I'm hanging up because it's a private.
We're just getting to the good stuff.
The good stuff is
they were talking about how all the Sonic games blend together, and that makes sense because when you got the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge system,
the other day.
You could play as Knuckles.
I know
in
you
earlier
could play as Knuckles
Sonic
or Sonic in the Sonic games. I know because I mean that stuff.
What a fantastic video game series!
Yes,
absolutely.
Let's talk about it because it is a fantastic video game series, and I love playing.
I mean, I think
the thing I love the most
was
about games is playing them with my friends. and the bond that you get with a
Revenge of
close
the Bird
friend.
King does not have, unfortunately, a multiplayer mode.
Okay, well, we could play Sonic. Or you want to... I mean, I could watch you play Revenge of the Bird King.
I made another trailer for Revenge of the Bird King. That was another unauthorized trailer for Revenge of the Bird King that I made.
I think what you're doing...
Because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Revenge of the Bird King. And one of the things that I do love about the game culture itself is the fans. And we have fans, Alan.
Oh, yes. And
we have fans that send us in beautiful art every time we come up and do the show. So you want to take some time to look at the art?
I want you to keep it. All right. I want to look at art, but maybe we could pull over or we could do it at a gas station because it is kind of freaking me out that you don't do this.
With us
okay.
So it's okay. I can do.
Why don't you give me the art and I'll look at the art?
So we've got
because it's the arts. Okay, I'm gonna just keep my hand on this. I would like to. You're going pretty fast. Okay.
So first up, we have a beautiful piece of art from.
Can I see
that correctly? It's from Neil Vance. Neil Vance, of course, is
Robby.
Beautiful piece of fan art of me dressed up in the EGI's Game of the Year 2019 award.
That's Tom Nook. I'm gonna
looking good, looking happy, looking healthy. I can tell that I've had a good.
Can we?
Year, 2019.
I'll grab this and I'll. Wow! Oh my God! That's such a cool drawing. Who did this?
Drawing of Alan.
Wow!
It's almost a painting. What did you say?
Hey, that's me. That's from the Game of the Year. Can I? I'll look at this.
It's from friend of the show, Benjamin.
Benjamin Black. Okay.
Blayholtz.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. It's a wonderful drawing from Benjamin Blayholtz of our
friend thank
Alan.
you. Thank you.
Got here, it's a printout of a review of Revenge of the Bird King that I wanted to read.
Why don't we not read that until we get to Las Vegas? It'll be a treat when we get there.
You're right.
Thank you. Okay. Why don't? Hey, Robby, I love you. Let me.
A wonderful drawing. Another drawing from friend of the show, Benjamin
Blake.
Blayholtz has of course drawn me again in that wonderful electronic game information.
Game of the
Year Award 2019.
Hey! Why don't you drive the car that you rented, and I will do the arts.
I didn't rented it. Just sort of came to me.
What, Robby? Okay, just briefly glance at the drawing of you as
I saw it as Tom Nook. Electronic Game Information had a Game of the Year award ceremony, and so many people watched it, and so many people were so supportive.
Check it out.
And it was so wonderful.
Do you see this?
Friend of the show,
Cricket. Okay.
Cricket, of course, is one of those people that just kind of comes into your life and stays there.
Briefly look.
You never want to let go of
Briefly
cricket.
look.
You never want to let go of Ben. These beautiful, wonderful friends of the show, friends in real life and friends in
Robby, look!
life.
Somebody sent in. It's like a screenshot from Animal Crossing.
Oh, and Animal Crossing is coming out on March 20th. We are so excited here to see your art.
It's me, and I'm dressed up, and it says, "May I come into your house right now?"
Let me see that.
Okay, but I want to drive.
And it's from Lindsay Yang, friend of the show, Lindsay Yang. Thank you, Lindsay, for sending in this beautiful Animal Crossing.
I'm gonna keep this one.
Wonderful piece of art.
I'm gonna look at it.
We love
look at this one.
Art. We love to see.
Okay, this is kind of drawing of funded. This is about how we got our dreams came true when the game you made up got funded, and then crushed when we found out that there was some sort of a problem with the game you made up. And then the
game was fine.
No. Yes. Well, okay. This is about.
Well, thank you for your art. Who said that? And it's from Neil Upton. Neil Upton said this beautiful piece of art from the lecture. And we don't have to talk about anything. It was the Game of the Year Awards 2019.
2019 EGI.
And what was the Game of the Year that year?
I think it was Boom Blocks.
It was Daemon X Machina. Daemon X Machina, the amazing game that is now coming to. It did so well on
Focus
Switch.
on the road. Focus on the road. Focus on the road.
Steam.
Gabriella Crossbow has drawn you as Tom Nook on the beach.
Thank you, Gabriella.
EGI.
Tom Nook on the beach. I love the beach.
Gabriella.
I love the feeling of the sand in the trees and all of the music that people play on the beach when the silver cans.
Let's go to the beach when we get to Las Vegas and we'll swim.
Las Vegas is landlocked down. It's a landlocked city. It's surrounded by the mountains.
Wet, fun water parks and adventure. This is a Egyptian hieroglyphic. EGI.
And friend of the show, Nacho Cheese. Nacho Cheese, friend of the show. Wonderful, put the art in the car for us when we showed up at the garage, or it was sort of a hangar, I suppose, and the art was already in it. So that what a big help to the people that brought us this car and provided us with the means to get to Las Vegas.
They drew me costumeless. Okay, this is a fun one.
Oh, it's a great one, Alan. Take a look at that one. I mean, that's great.
That's from Tokyo Game Show,
and
it says Robby is mad. Why?
Why is
I don't know.
Mad?
Robby would never be mad.
I've never been mad.
Kind soul.
I've always tried to have a smile on. My dad always told me that the first thing that people see and the last thing that people see is your mouth.
I love you, Dad, and I love you. I love your dad for having.
It was a wonderful piece of advice.
You with your
wonderful father,
and for divorcing your mom, because without that we wouldn't have all the creative genius that comes with you and the games.
The first and the last thing that they see is your mouth.
This is a drawing of you as Blue Leader, and
Blue Leader.
Blue Leader
was sort of my avatar, my live avatar for performances about video games. Before we have the vehicle of what we have now, wonderful speech bubble. Friend of the show.
We
didn't write the name on it, but it does say it's a wonderful positive message. Trans rights. We agree with that, and we also agree with putting the Nintendo DS.
I will hold it. You hold the wheel.
The Nintendo DS Lite, of course, was the first Nintendo DS to have a camera.
Thank you for your
drawing.
And
now, of course, that we are in the twilight of the 3DS.
A little picture of me on there.
We can just assume that that the camera will be added to the Switch at some point in the not too distant future.
This is a fun one. This is from Boris Keegan.
Boris Keegan, friend of the show. Boris Keegan has always been
EGI.
making us.
I have hearts in my eyes.
Kind of polygonal figures, sort of like Star Fox bosses.
And you're just the best guy in the world. And I love you, Robby. And what the heck is this? This is a fun one from Brandon. And that's
Brandon.
I believe that's a drawing of Robby hosting EGI, the best show in the world.
But he's great show. Look a little sort of wild and crazy, and that's how I feel right now. That's how the driving at night on these long desert highways makes me feel like a wild man. Makes me feel like I've got very little control over the things in my life, but it doesn't matter because the road, the part of the road that we were just on, is the past. And then the road ahead is the future, and that's what we're not going back. I wanted to show you something.
I don't care what I want you to drive, and I'll show you. We don't need to show each other stuff.
No, that was the we have. You had them. These are Revenge of the Bird King reviews. You can print these out online. You can go to. This is from Joy-Con reviews. Revenge of the Bird King. Cool mechanic and fun gameplay. Cryptic nature is disappointing and unpolished mess. So that's a Revenge of the Bird King in a sort of a nutshell there, and I do feel like that is the kind of
okay.
You know, when you put yourself out there, when you make something that no one else has played before, you put yourself out there. You can always expect some criticism. You can always expect something to go wrong.
It's the arts. Thank you.
And something, I admit it. Something went wrong, but. We have another caller.
What?
On the line?
I don't want to.
Someone who I think has something to say to you and to me. And I knew he was going to call while we were in the car.
What are you talking about?
Nathan, are you on the line right now?
I'm here, Robby.
Hey, Nathan.
God damn it.
Nathan, why don't you go ahead and fill us in for the people that might just be joining electronic game information for the first time?
Is this?
Why don't you just explain what happened to the viewers?
Is this Nathan Vegetable?
Nathan Vegetable.
God damn it.
Robby, I got a letter for you. It might be some twists and turns, but I think it'll explain all pretty well, if you're okay with that.
I'm okay.
Okay. It's going to have some twists and turns, okay? But I made it just for you. So, dear Robby, when you first spoke of the game you made up, I was instantly hooked. I felt the wonder of a teenager, first discovering naked women on the internet. An amazing new world opening right in front of me, filled with naked bodies touching each other. I was addicted. I stayed up late. I quit going to school. That was my life. All I wanted to do was look at the bodies. I didn't want to do homework, just watch consensual fun between adults exploring their bodies. And, well, while I explore my body. And what I'm trying to say is, if I was Jeff Bezos, the game you made up would be funded right now. And I would personally give you $10 million to make sure the game became a reality. And I'm not talking Sean and Splatterman. I'm talking Spawn and Shadowhawk. The game would be officially licensed. It would even run a limited physical print as a collector's item. There would be a 200-plus hour main story with 1,000 or more colonial-themed side quests. Your spreadsheet would be have its mind blown at the value in this game. People would pre-order the collector's edition just instead of getting food, just to make sure they get the game on release day. But I'm not Jeff Bezos. And when I pledged that $9,000, I had stars in my eyes, a vision where you get to create your game that you made up, where you can press a combination of buttons to unlock free skins to play as Robby and Alan, as Sean and Splatterman. There's no gouging microtransactions. It's all included in that base game, where the cutscenes are unskippable and fully voice acted, full immersion. It was like my dream came true and everything was suddenly possible. I was ecstatic. After talking with my wife, I asked my lender for a loan of $9,000 and explained that I needed it in under a week. She asked me, "What do you need it for?" I told her, "Robby's game." She looked at me like I was crazy. She didn't understand. Nobody understood. I was denied. I was heartbroken. It was like when my dad put a parental block on my computer so I couldn't see those naked girls anymore. My dreams were crushed. I really, really wanted to make this happen. But for some reason, everyone just didn't want it to be. And I'm not the Jeff Bezos I promised to be. I'm sorry, Robby. And I'm sorry, Alan. I hope you can both find it in your hearts to forgive me and someday make Robby's game he made up a reality. Whenever you have the next Kickstarter, I'll be there backing it. And maybe by then, I'll have EGI producer amounts of money. My most sincere apologies, Nathan Vegetable.
Well, I appreciate that, Nathan. I really do. I don't think there's going to be another Kickstarter. I can't put myself through that. My family, my friends. I can't put Alan through that. Again, it was there's things. There's destiny. And that was not my destiny.
I think your destiny is to eventually make the game, just not right now, but it will happen.
Well, we don't know what the future holds. The future is ahead of us, like I was saying before. But if it's okay with you, I'd like to just take that part of our lives and just kind of stick it in a box and cover the box up and put some chains around the box and just kind of, drill a deep well, dunk the box in the well, cover the well up.
Just put on a map where the well is all I'm asking. So, maybe 30 days or 30 years from now, maybe things will change. You never know.
Nathan, have you ever played Revenge of the Bird King?
I haven't, but having watched your trailer, I'm pretty sure I'm going to.
I would really, take some of that energy that you just projected at us, projected at the Nintendo eShop, projected at M7 Games, projected at the people that made Revenge of the Bird King. Because those people, and I have no idea if this is true or not, but I can only assume had far less resources than what we had when we set out on that doomed, naive mission that we did. Those people deserve that money. I don't think I do.
I mean, I'll disagree a little bit with you deserving it, but I see where your heart's coming from, and I promise you.
I'm with them now. Do you understand that? You understand that? I made another unauthorized trailer I'd like to share with everybody.
I'd love to see it.
Sweet kid.
Robby.
Nathan, he's a sweet kid.
Yeah, I was prepared to hate him and crush him because of what he did, but he was he's very kind. And when I was younger, my dad put a password on my computer too. But I filmed him typing.
Looks like
in the
we
password
do have
and
some
figured
more
out
calls
what
coming in. We have some. We do have to take some calls. Alan.
I don't-
people are looking at these Revenge of the Bird King trailers, and they've
that
got
you
some things to
made.
say, because I think that what we are doing is we are breaking open that game. We are unlocking the game for the public. Hello, you're in the car with Alan and Robby. We're on our way to.
You're in the car.
How do we pronounce it again?
Level up.
Level Up in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Just Alan and Robby in the car.
We're Alan and Robby in the car. We're talking about Revenge of the Bird King.
We're
We
talking
just had
to
a
all
wonderful
kinds of people.
conversation with Nathan Vegetable, a king of hearts, I would say. Wouldn't you say, caller?
Absolutely. Yes.
Caller, what you've been watching the drive so far? So tell us what you're sort of thinking. What's on your mind? Are you thinking about Revenge of the Bird King? You're going out to buy an eShop copy of it. You're thinking about maybe getting a Steam key for it. What's the deal here?
Well, I've got my Switch right here.
You got the Switch right there. You're going online.
Yeah.
You're going onto the Switch eShop, typing in Revenge of the Bird King. Tell me how much it costs right now.
It's loading.
Loading.
While it's loading, why don't you and I just chat and talk about stuff in our lives and bond over our experience and maybe make fun plans?
Well, I
want to
find out how much Revenge of the Bird King costs right now, because I would like to share with people how much I paid for Revenge of the Bird King.
You
and how
can
much
just tell me. Why don't you just whisper in my ear?
Well, I want to. I don't want, because I want to see if it's still the same price.
I'll tell you how much I would pay, but I'll whisper it.
I would pay any amount.
Any amount.
Any amount.
That's what I said. That's actually what. That's funny because that's actually what I said. Can we?
I paid. You know how much I paid for Revenge of the Bird King? 9 cents.
Not sure.
9 cents.
Only
for,
10 cents?
9 cents for a game that, as far as I can tell, is going to take at the very least, 5 hours to complete. I mean,
5 hours?
5 hours. I mean, I can only, because because this is what I know, is that there's 5 bosses, because those 5 bosses unlock the weapons that you need to progress through the rest of the game. And I've been playing that game for a good hour, and I still haven't defeated the first boss. So I can only assume that as I get better, the hours will sort of become shorter, I mean, the boss is.
Robbie, put your hands up out of the
no, if I
convertible. It feels so good. The air
you gotta
here
do
is
the
so
math
good.
because
You smell the air?
It's the desert air, Alan. It's beautiful. It's clear air. We're driving near Death Valley, where nothing lives, where everything has died long ago, and so the air is purer.
I'm having the time of my life in the car with my best friend Robbie
polluted
on
by
the drive
lives
to
of sinners
Las
and
Vegas.
the Las Vegas, Nevada.
I'm
Thank you for your call.
Hey.
We've got another caller on the line.
Why?
We're here in the car with
Why?
Alan and Robbie.
Why?
We're talking about
What
Revenge
are
of the
you-
Bird King. We're driving to Level Up Expo in beautiful downtown Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
I keep thinking you're saying. I keep thinking. What did you say?
Las Vegas.
Because there's such a particularity of how you say these things. Because
Particularity.
you say it the wrong way, people that are from there look at you kind of like you're not, and you end up kind of being at a restaurant someplace. You say it out loud, and people just give you the worst looks. I don't want to be one of those people that gets the look.
Yeah,
I don't give the looks either. I just want to point that out.
I keep thinking you're saying Revenge of the Burger King.
No, it's Revenge of the Bird King, like a caw-caw or peck
Well, but
peck.
would you play Revenge of the Burger King?
I would. It's funny that you bring that up because there were Burger King video games that came out in sort of the early. I want to say like.
Let's stop and get food. Let's stop.
2005.
Would it be fun on a road trip?
And what was the best of those Burger King video games? But sneaking, where you snuck around a loggers camp.
I'm going to pretend that you're talking to me. That's
handing
so
out
interesting.
burgers, stealing burgers, handing
Loggers
out burgers,
camp.
collecting
Wow,
burgers.
Robbie. Ha ha ha.
King was a Burger
How did you
King.
know
Giving
that?
burgers to the loggers?
Yeah, they made that? Whoa.
We were trying to steer clear of the loggers because we can only assume, from what we know of the violent history of logging in this country, that the Burger King
I've seen
would
Twin
not have
Peaks.
been
Whoa.
fully welcomed.
Whoa, so interesting. Thank you for telling me that. Thank you, Robbie.
Thank you, caller. We have
You're welcome, Robbie.
another caller on hold on the car phone here in the beautiful car that was given to us that we acquired from the hangar.
When you asked me to go on the road trip, when did you tell people at what point did you give out the number, the car phone number?
And
tell them what time to
type
call.
of car it is. You don't need to dial it. If you just see it and you you say, I want to talk to those guys, and it snaps to the phone, and it gives a little like a light.
This is from these were from other cars?
Yeah. Like the last person that called was going the other way.
What?
Caller, you're on the air with electronic game information. We're in the car with Alan and Robbie. We're talking about Revenge of the Bird King. We're talking about all of these wonderful games that we can expect to see at the Las Vegas.
Wow.
Las Vegas.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I just wanted to offer words of encouragement. I think you're both doing great.
I'll take what I can get. Thank you. Let's keep going on to the. Let's just bye-bye.
This guy's riding my ass.
That's a cool old car.
It's a Pontiac.
What did that sign say?
I made another trailer for Revenge of the Bird King. You want to see it? This would be the 4th trailer that I made without anyone asking me.
I think you may be avoiding talking about something else because you're always talking about Revenge of the Bird King. I will look at anything you want to show me.
All right, well then let's watch the video. Alan, you know what time it is? It is time for the list. This is a special list because we're in the car, so I want to talk about, you guessed it, driving games. Driving games, and not talking about racing games, I'm talking about driving games. There's a difference between driving and racing. Wouldn't you say, Alan?
You're doing the list?
Yes, we're doing the list. We're doing the list in the car. We're talking about driving games since we are driving to Las Vegas and Nevada.
Got it.
We have the mission. We have the objective. We are driving. We are driving along the road. We aren't racing these cars behind us or to the side of us. This is
friendly driving.
Us
we're just
on a mission. We have an objective, and we're going to get there. So let's just talk about driving games. Two friends talking about driving games on their way to Level Up Expo, and we are going to go and meet so many new people, friends. We're going to meet all of these wonderful games. Talk about the types of games that I want to talk about, not these new bullshit games like Borderlands 3 or Stadia. Like, who cares? I want to talk about the things that got us into this in the first place. Driving games. Grand Theft Auto is in fact a driving game, so it is on the list. Even though I don't like to, but let's
doing like a real list here.
We're doing a real list, but I don't want to talk about any of the Grand Theft Auto games that would not necessarily be on the list.
But Grand Theft Auto is not on the list.
No, Grand Theft Auto from 3 to 5, all those Grand Theft Auto games not on the list. We're going to talk about the Grand Theft Auto game that takes place in
horse drive. What?
1970s Britain, I think, or 1960s Britain.
That's That's not a Grand Theft Auto game.
It's a Grand Theft Auto game. It takes place in the past. It's a game that reminds us that the further that you drive doesn't matter when you're basically stuck in the past.
Robbie, I don't.
So it's a Grand Theft Auto game that takes place in London. It's a driving game. It's a crime fighting game. You're the criminal.
Why would? Okay.
Driver. Not on the list because that was a popular game. It was a PlayStation hit. Greatest hit. PlayStation hit. LA Noire is a driving game.
It's a driving game.
Let's just put it on the list for a second. Let me think about that. LA Noire.
Robbie, this is a different list.
It's a different.
It's not on the list. Never mind.
It's a driving game, but it's also a high budget crime-solving game.
And it came out in VR.
And it came out in VR, and so it is not on the list. Sorry to LA Noire, not on the list. Let's move on to Caller. Caller, we're trying to figure out some driving games to put on the list. We got to make some distinctions here because a lot of people forget the difference between driving and racing games, and also the types of games that go on the list. So we don't want to talk about any of these obvious
Need for
games,
Speed,
Grand Theft Auto 5, or Grand Theft Auto
Road
4.
Rash.
So if there's a specific driving game, maybe it's Road Rash, or Road Rash 2.
Road Rage 2.
Call it.
Car.
Well, thank you for your call, and we are moving on to the next caller. Caller, you're on the air with electronic game information in the car, an exclusive list in a car.
This is the first time
and
you've
ever
done
We are doing driving games, and we're specifically driving games, not racing games.
When you drive to anywhere,
and specifically games that are oftentimes, your 6 out of 7 out of 10 games, overlooked games, the games that kind of fly onto the radar and strike the wall, but don't knock the wall down.
And you can't get Grand Theft Auto on this list no matter how hard you try.
There was that one Grand Theft Auto game, but I don't remember the name of it, so it's not going on the list.
For me, I would personally go with Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Euro Truck Simulator is 100% on the list. Any of the Euro Truck Simulators, any of the yearly updates, I believe is it a yearly updated game, Caller?
It's like updated randomly. I'm not like.
But it's not like Train Simulator where they update it every year.
Yeah, I'm not really too familiar with those types of games. I just know that they exist.
So we're putting Euro Truck Simulator on the list. If you want to drive from Copenhagen to Hamburg, then what better way to do it than with a Euro Truck Simulator? Because the traffic is light and the parking is easy because you don't have to worry about, because you're in a truck, a freight truck, you're moving goods from one side of the continent to the other. You do not have to worry about getting into one of those tight downtown parking spaces. And of course, caller, you of all people will know that as the congestion has gotten bad in Western Europe, they have started to add in a lot of those kind of congestion fees. So you don't want to be driving a regular car in one of these downtown Western European cities. But if you're in a truck, guess where you get to go? Warehouse.
What about Watchdog? You driving that?
Thank you for your call. We are talking about driving games, specifically driving games, not racing games. Euro Truck Simulator is the first game of the evening to actually make it to the list as we sort of pan through what all this means.
Red Dead Redemption.
Plenty of we've got
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Here. Red Dead Redemption is not a driving game; it's a riding game. You ride a dog. What is it? It's like a dog, but it's big.
It's a horse,
and it eats the grass.
Yeah, but it has a carriage, so you drive. That's like that is a driving game. You drive the whole carriage.
Caller, what do you think?
What about Cruising USA? I mean, that's
Cruising USA is a racing game. It's a racing game. You do drive a car, but the point of
hang up on him. Hang up on him.
But wait,
pay attention.
Cruising USA is, of course, it's not like the other. It's not like your sort of Daytona USA type of racing games. But I do still classify it as a racing game because it does have those other cars racing against you to get through the checkpoints to get to the end.
Let's stop doing the list. Let's stop doing the list.
And we got one game on the list.
LA Noire.
No, Euro Truck Simulator.
And that's the list.
That was the list.
I'm Robby. Robby, the headlights on the Regalia. Robby, can you turn the headlights? Robby. I don't feel safe when you drive with the headlights up. Like it's not a fun kind of game. It's not a game. Robby. I don't want.
I don't need lights to drive. And that was our first time doing an entire episode of electronic game information from inside a car. Alan, have you enjoyed the drive so far? We've got a good 2 hours left of the drive, but we are going to leave our audience now. We are going to drive blindly into the night. Beautiful downtown.
I just want to say that you sprung this on me, and I didn't know that this was what you had in mind when you asked me to do this.
We'll be here. We'll not here in the car. We'll be out of the car. We'll be back in a studio broadcasting live from beautiful downtown Las Vegas, Nevada, and we will be answering your questions. We'll talk about the things that we learned, the things that we've seen at the Level Up Expo 2020, starting this Friday night at the Vegas Convention Center. So email us at electronicgameinformation@gmail.com. Send us your beautiful fan art.
Where are the prostitutes?
Bye.